Good day, Mr. Clarence. We are from the group Aristotle. The topic we are going to talk about is ways to avoid or prevent divorce in families. Divorce is something like losing your happiness, peace, and trust. If you're not careful or what you are choosing, you can spend your whole life looking for what you've lost. After divorce, the couple often go through outcomes such as dwindle level of happiness and emotional dilemma. It could either be one party being happy or the other being sad. Effects. Usually children go through many effects. For example, comparatively in academic. For example, they could either be getting low grades. Next, they could be mentally affected. Their behavior could change. For example, they could be more aggressive. They will not trust people. That's how they could change. And they could be having psychological problems. For example, they could be having depression. They could be having stress and anxiety and many more.
Point 1. Reframe your mindset from divorce to one of saving your marriage. As you know, divorce mostly happen due to couples who not thinking maturely to save their marriage problems well. So with that, you should think positive to save your marriage from divorce. One way to ask for positive advice from your friends, family, or someone you know who can comfort you about marriage. No need to listen or think of negative advice because it will cause the divorce to happen.
As there are many ways to prevent divorce, reshuffling your priorities is one of the ways to prevent it. If you want to save your marriage, then it needs to be the number one priority in your life. That also means placing it above your kids, your job, or anything else. But not necessarily means to completely shut everything out because it will only lead to marital resentment. You just have to place your relationship at the top of the heap of all the layers in your life. For example, instead of running away from your problems, you can commit spending time in your marriage instead. This will let your partner know that they are the prime focus of your life. Other benefits by doing this when you have kids is that it will send a strong message to your kids that their parents love each other.
However, we should make sure both partners are not living separate lives because having different goals and living together will lead to problems. They must create a dynamic formation to build a wonderful life, and that's called marriage. Not two individuals having different priorities and working on it. Both partners creating something bigger together is the way of giving meaning to their marriage.
So, we should always face through issues as a couple. First, we should always create a welcoming environment. For instance, constructing a lunar environment probably means prioritizing respect and suspending treatments while facing a discard. So, here's the next step. Identify your own feelings. When you identify your own feelings about a situation, it will be easier for you to state why you have that feelings towards your partner. So let's move on to the third step. Know your partner's feelings. Communicating your own feelings is also as important to listen to your partner's feelings. You should always know how they feel about us. The fourth step would be compromising your partner. Be open-minded when communicating with your partner. To solve a problem, it requires a solution that makes both partners to feel comfortable. Last but not the least, get help from a relationship expert. This is because sometimes direct communication between couples don't work due to misunderstanding and weak bonding between couples. The reason why you should get help from a relationship expert is because they can help you with communication issues, trust issues, and many more.
To sum it up, family is a gift that lasts forever. In many communities, they have sayings. For example, what does Al Quran says about family? When God endows you with prosperity, spend first on yourself and family. What does Ching says about family? Leaders of a family should be aware of how their words and their actions affect others. What does Bhagavad Gita say about family? The family should be a source of spiritual strength and support. If it becomes a detriment to spiritual life, then one should be detached enough to see it in the proper light. What does Bible say about family? God established family from very beginning, and it shows us many example of strong families. It also teaches us how to have loving and happy family. What does Grant says about family? Encouraged to live as a family unit to provide and nurture children for the benefit of creation. Thank you. That's it from us.